morning after the horrendous heat wave we've had. Just to let you know, the meeting is going to be recorded and will be published live on the internet once it's been downloaded and streamed. So just to make you aware that it is now recorded. So I'll hand over to the chair, Councillor Richards, to take this morning's meeting.
Before we start, so can I just take both of your names as well, please, just so I've got.
Yes, my name is Martin Talbot.
That.
My name's. Can we spell it?
No, it's fine. Yeah, you're in the applicant. Yeah.
Jack Phillips.
Jack Phillips, great. Thank you both. Okay, so good morning and welcome to this hybrid meeting of Licensing and Gambling Acts Subcommittee on Monday the 15th of August 2022. I'm Councillor Anthony Richards and I'm chairing today's meeting. Can you all please ensure that your phones are switched to silent for the duration of the meeting? And would members, officers and attendees who are present here today please use their microphones when speaking, although there's no microphones here, but just to double check, can everybody hear me who's at home? Yes, great.
Yes.
Okay. And if you have any questions, please raise your hand virtually and present here in the committee rooms as well. So any points? So first of all, agenda item 2, declarations of interests. Are there any declarations of interests?
I gotta say before we start, look, Jack Phillips, who's one of the in present with you, is a friend of mine. So does that declare an interest, or do I still have to take part, or do I come out with it?
Yes, Councillor, you're effectively, if he's a friend of yours and you've got a personal interest.
Right. Okay. So I leave the meeting then, yeah.
Yes, Councillor.
Yes,
Right. Okay. It's okay. Thank you very much. Sorry, Jack. That's the way it goes, but.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll wait for the to leave. There we are. Councillor Dacey's left. So agenda item 3, application for the grant of a premises licence. So the Burger Boys, Talbot, Port. So agenda item on page 5 to 18 of the agenda pack, and this is an application for the grant of a premises licence for the Burger Boys, Talbot, Port Talbot. So Mr. Chappell would.
Thank you. Agenda item 3, Chair, as you said, this is an application for a grant of a premises licence. It's for the Burger Boys, the address being 37 Commercial Road, and the applicant being Burger Boys Limited. The DPS, Martin Sadlos, is with us today. You'll have an opportunity to speak shortly. Chair, the applicant the report. 5 of the report, the opening hours are outlined there till 8 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock at night, with supply of alcohol being the same hours. The application resulted in a representation from South Wales Police, and that representation is reproduced at Appendix 1 to the report. The police requested additional conditions be attached to the licence, and the applicant has now agreed to those conditions being attached. There's also one other representation, and that was Neath of 44 Commercial Road in Talbot. The representation from Mr. Meir is attached at Appendix 2 to the report, and there has
Sorry, Chair. Can I? The sound is really bad in the.
Well, thank you, Nadine. That's why my hand is raised. I'm having it. It sounds interrupted. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this. If I can kindly ask for everybody's microphones at home to be switched to silent, please. Just to see if that helps, and then we'll go from there. If that's okay, Chair. Can you hear? There's a bit of background noise.
No, and apologies that I didn't pick up on your hands being raised.
Check. Can I just confirm before we continue? Has everybody heard what I've said to date?
Yeah, we can hear it. It's just like mumbling now and again.
The gist of it. Yes, the gist of it is fine. Yeah, but it's interrupted.
But what I suggest is if everybody at home puts their microphones to silent and in this committee room as well if you're using your laptop. And we'll just come a bit closer to the microphone, and then if you could give us some feedback if there's any more interruptions, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Thanks, Sarah.
Yeah, thank you.
And if I could just ask,
That's it.
and if we just ask the applicants just to speak loudly, please, that'd be great. When it comes to your time to speak. Sorry, apologies.
Thank you very much. I'll continue. So as I was saying, there was one other representation in respect of the application. That was from a Mr. Juned Neath, 44 Commercial Road in Talbot. He's not here today, but his representation is attached at Appendix 2 to the report. So members will need to take those representations into consideration when determining this application. The recommendation today, members, is that the application is determined after hearing all relevant representations. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chappell. Do we have any, or in terms of the accuracy of what Mr. Chappell has said, is everybody happy with the accuracy of the report? Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. All happy? Fabulous. Okay, so what we'll do now then is we'll hear now from the applicant, please, and and your submissions.
Yeah, so we were just a little bit surprised that we had any representation, but obviously not from the police, because it does make sense, everything they said and brought forward, and obviously we agreed to everything the police had raised. But yeah, we were quite surprised at the representations made by the other Juned person. Yeah, we just didn't really think some of those were relevant to us, as they were worried about us turning into a nightclub and everything, and as I explained, that's like the furthest thing we went from our business, so yeah. Restaurant. Yeah, it's a restaurant, not a drinking establishment, and that's why we chose some of the alcohol that we chose as well, because obviously it's a premium beer which kind of filter out different crowds and stuff. It's not something you get drunk on, really. It's just something you enjoy with your food, yeah, so that's like our story on it, really. Is there anything else you'd like to ask, or?
Yeah, so thanks very much for that. Any questions? So if we start with Neil.
Yeah, brilliant, thanks. Just a few quick questions then, if I can. Obviously we're here today because this representation is still outstanding in respect of Mr. Neath. He put a representation in with 8 points, and I know you've kindly responded to that.
Yeah.
And you've addressed a lot of them, but just for the members' benefit, the ones that I want to just pick up on quickly was in relation to music.
Yeah.
So you've asked for a license until 10 o'clock for recorded music. Obviously, it is a residential area.
Yeah.
How do you expect that that's not going to cause a nuisance?
Well, we literally just use background music. We have it quiet enough just so people can hear each other speak, in the restaurant. No one has really said anything about turning it down. No one has not been able to hear each other on tables, and it's a small establishment, so the music is quiet enough for people to hear each other speak. So yeah, we didn't really think it would affect the residential area so much, because it is quiet enough. It's just background music, we don't play no live music or anything like that. And yeah, and if it's an issue and you guys wanted us to stop the music slightly earlier, then that wouldn't be a problem at all, but 10 o'clock is when we close, but most of our customers are gone by 9:30, because we stop serving food at 9, and we stop serving alcohol at 9 as well, which that's why we chose our opening hours to be closing at 10 as well, because of the residential area part, whereas most establishments like ours are open until 11, 12, like, you've got the Bell, you've got the Taiwan Rugby Club, and yeah, we think we fall into a slightly different bracket to those,
Yeah. Okay, thank you. So just to clarify, the music that you're planning on having at the premises is going to be ancillary, really, to people coming for food and
that's it. Yeah, it's just background music. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. And then the other point I wanted to pick up on in the representation was in respect of fire-related safety. So the licensing objective of public safety is engaged there. And you're talking about having a sprinkler system or a fire alarm.
Yeah, we've got everything in place. We've got a fire alarm. It's all up to date and everything. It's actually linked to Davis security. So anytime it goes off, it signals Davis security, which is obviously a good safety point. It signals back to our phones. And yeah, everything's set up correctly. We've got about 4 different layers of flooring between the flat upstairs and the shop as well. It's all fireproof, soundproofed, and everything as well. Yeah, we've got an intruder alarm cameras installed, everything like, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then in respect of the other 6 points, like I said, you have put a response into that. Members will see that at Appendix 3 to the report. I don't think there's any need to touch any further on those, but if obviously members have any questions, then they'll come back to you on those. That's it. Thank you, Chair.
Great, thank you. Any questions from any of the members? Councillor Paterson?
Thank you very much, Chair. Yes, I'd like to ask the applicants, are they going to have any way of dealing with complaints about noise? I understand that you feel that you've got a low level noise just to accompany meals, allowing people to speak. But should people feel that there is a bit much noise, have you got a process ready to go to sort of deal with that?
Yeah, we've got the complaints, but we've got a diary for any incident and complaints, you know. So yeah, we've got a diary.
Okay, thank you, Chair.
Great. Any other questions? No.
No hands raised.
As the legal officer, any?
Please, Chair.
Yeah, correct.
One question to Mr. Sadler. Okay. I think you mentioned a minute ago that you're stopping food at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And did you say drinks at 9 o'clock too, or 9:30?
Well, 9, you know,
Yes.
we did come back with, we'll probably be stopping at about 9 anyway, as we start cleaning everything down at 9, you know, and we don't want
long process.
Yeah, it's a long
prep,
process.
Service,
That's
and
it, like,
it's
yeah.
a
So
long
we're there
day
from
for
9
staff.
o'clock, our staff are there from 9, so we'd probably stop everything at 9, you know, although the police were happy with 9:30, we'd probably stop at 9, like, you know, as we said in the reply to the police as well, like, you know, just because everything stopped and we can start out cleaning and our staff can get home by 10:30 then, you know. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr.
Okay.
Sadler. Thank you, Chair. No further questions.
Fab. Okay. So any further questions before we move on? Just to double check, or anything from yourselves?
No, not really. Like obviously we've been open now for the 2 weeks. We just finished our second week yesterday, and you know, we haven't had any complaints from our customers so far or anything. We haven't had no incidents happen. It's just been pretty chill, like, you know. Just no one's even popped in just for a drink, you know. It's just people have only ordered drinks with a bit of food. We've had customers come in asking us for wine, vodka and stuff, but we don't offer any of that, you know what I mean? And we don't want to. And we've explained to customers which have asked that that we're not a drinking establishment, that we're a food business with a couple of drinks that go well with our food. And I don't know if you've ever tried the drinks, but our people don't even like them. It's like it's one of them. It's you either like it or you don't. And there's only a small amount of customers that enjoy drinking it, you know. So yeah, like I said, we're not going to be selling no spirits or anything like that because we don't want to bring in a crowd of people making a scene, you know. Because you know people act like off stuff like that sometimes, you know.
Yeah, Mr. Champion.
Yeah, it was just to confirm that obviously this license hasn't been granted yet. The premise has been operating under temporary event notices for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just in case anybody was
was
worried they were trading without a license.
Yeah. Councillor Paterson.
Yeah, I'm very remiss of me, Chair. I just forgot. You've only got the one toilet facility. And it is available to disabled people.
It is, yes.
It's accessible.
Yeah, it's accessible. Yeah.
Just wanted to make that clear that we've noticed that and that, you know, that's okay.
All the MPAC handles installed, all the handles around the toilet and stuff and everything. So, and you've got enough turning circle in. I think the dimensions you like from the MPAC, we've got the dimensions, so everything's done correctly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Because I think the lady or the person that made the representation said that there wasn't disabled access as well, but there is, because we have bifolding doors and they open, like, you know, you can get a lorry to it, you know, so yeah, you could easily get wheelchair person in there as well, you know, so yeah.
Great. So just, so I think I'll just check very quickly, any further questions? And from you as the applicant, anything that you want to further summarise?
Not really, no, like obviously all the other points that we touched on when I replied, I don't think they're really worth explaining again, you know, because I don't think some of them even relate to, you know, so yeah, but obviously if there's any other questions or any other needs we need to meet, we're more than happy to work with you guys, you know, and the police and anybody else, you know.
Great. Okay, so we'll move on then. So agenda item 6 is urgent items, and I have no urgent items, and there are no further items. So that does now end business for today. The subcommittee will now retire for deliberations of the application presented today. And yeah, thank you all for attending.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you.